Magandang araw mga kamataral. Welcome po sa aking Math Class channel. Ako po ang inyong math teacher, Sir Mandy. Ang topic natin sa araw na ito ay tungkol sa illustrates the combinations of objects. Bago tayo magsimula, alamin natin kung ano-ano ang mga objectives natin sa araw na ito. Ito ang mga inaasahan natin sa araw na ito. Number 1, we will define and illustrate the combination of objects. Dito malalaman natin kung ano ang pinagkaiba ng combination sa permutation. Number 2, we will find the number of combinations of n objects taken are at a time. And number 3, we will solve real-world problems involving combinations. Handa na ba kayong matuto mga kamataral? Let us first consider this situation. You are planning to go out with your three best friends, Jessica, Grace, and Clarice, after the community quarantine period. However, only 3 persons are allowed, including yourself, to avail the discount promo of your favorite restaurant. In how many ways can you select 2 persons to avail the said promo? Using systematic listing, kung i-consider natin ang order of arrangement, so we have Clarice Grace, Clarice Jessica, Grace Jessica, Grace Clarice, Jessica Clarice, and Jessica Grace. Makikita natin dito na meron tayong 6 different ways to arrange people at a time. But since tayo ay pipili lang ng dalawa, order of arrangement does not matter anymore. So these 2 arrangements are the same selection. Likewise, ito rin ay pareho lang. Also with this. All in all, makikita natin dito sa ating illustrations na meron lang tayong 3 ways to select. Ito ang tinatawag nating combination. Combination is a mathematical technique that determines the number of possible arrangements in a collection of items where the order of selection does not matter. Ibig sabihin, ang combination ay isang technique para malaman natin ang number of possible selections kung saan hindi mahalaga ang pagkakasunod-sunod ng bawat bagay. These are some examples illustrating combination, like playing lotto. Tandaan natin sa pagtaya ng loto, hindi mahalaga ang pagkasunod-sunod ng paglabas ng mga numbers. Ang mahalaga, pasok lahat ang 6 numero para ikaw ay manalo. Like selection of MTAP contestants. O diba? Pag pumili ang inyong math teachers nang isasali sa MTAP contest, hindi mahalaga kung sino ang nauna. Ang mahalaga kung sino ang pinili niya. And then we have the selection of fruits for making salad. Ganun din sa paggawa ng salad. Mahalaga, naroroon lahat ng sangkap mong prutas para maagawa ng isang masarap na fruit salad. To continue, the number of combination of n objects taken r at a time is given by this formula. N factorial divided by the quantity of n minus r factorial times r factorial, where r is greater than or equal to 0 but less than or equal to n. This notation can be read as n select r or n choose r. Dito, ang n natin represents the total number of items or elements in a given set, while r represent the number of elements or items na pipiliin natin mula sa isang set. So let us take this example. Evaluate 6, select 3. So using the formula, we have 6 factorial over 6 minus 3 factorial times 3 factorial, which is also equal to 6 factorial over 3 factorial times 3 factorial. Then evaluate natin. So meron tayong 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 factorial all over 3 factorial times 3 times 2 times 1. Tulad ng napag-aralan natin sa factorial notation, lagi tayong hihinto sa isang factorial kung ano ang pinakamataas na factorial sa denominator. In this case, pareho silang 3 factorial. Kaya stop tayo sa 3 factorial. Then, let us now cancel out 3 factorial. Multiply natin yung natira sa numerator at multiply din natin yung natira sa denominator. So we have 120 divided by 6, which is equal to 20. Isa pang paraan to simplify this, kung papansinin nyo, itong 3 times 2 is equal to 6. So pwede nating i-cancel out itong 6 sa numerator at yung 3 times 2 sa denominator. Ano ang natira? 5 times 4, which is equal din sa 20. Okay, let us have example number 2. Evaluate 8, select 5. So using the formula, it is equal to 8 factorial over the quantity of 8 minus 5 factorial times 5 factorial, which is also equal to 8 factorial over 3 factorial times 5 factorial. To simplify, we have 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 factorial over 3 times 2 times 1 times 5 factorial. So, let us now cancel 5 factorial. Tapos, let us find the product of the numerator and the product of the denominator. So, we have 336 divided by 6. And that is equal to 56. Another way to simplify this, again, 3 times 2 is also equal to 6. So, pwede na natin silang i-cancel out. So, ano ang natira sa itaas? 8 times 7. And that is also equal to 56. Let us have the next example. Evaluate 9, select 9. Using the formula, it is equal to 9 factorial over the quantity of 9 minus 9 factorial times 9 factorial, which is also equal to 9 factorial over 0 factorial times 9 factorial. Remember, kamat-aral, na ang value ng 0 factorial ay laging equal sa 1. So we have 9 factorial over 1 times 9 factorial. In that case, let us now cancel 9 factorial. Kung inyong mapapansin, walang naiwan sa itaas. So therefore, our answer is 1. So this is one of the properties of combination, telling us that if we select n elements from n number of elements, ang sagot ay laging 1. Halimbawa, 15, select 15. So the answer is equal to 1. Okay, let us have example number 4. Evaluate 7, select 0. Again, using the formula, we have 7 factorial all over the quantity of 7 minus 0 factorial times 0 factorial, which is also equal to 7 factorial over 7 factorial times 0 factorial. Again, sabi natin, 0 factorial is always equal to 1. So we have 7 factorial over 7 factorial times 1. And then, cancel natin ang 7 factorial. So therefore, our final answer is 1. This is another property of combination. When we select 0 element from the n number of elements, it is always equal to 1. For example, 20 select 0 equals 1. Let us have example number 5. Evaluate 12 select 1. So using the formula, we have 12 factorial over the quantity of 12 minus 1 factorial times 1 factorial, which is also equal to 12 factorial over 11 factorial times 1. To simplify, we have 12 times 11 factorial over 11 factorial. Then, cancelan natin yung 11 factorial. So the answer is 12. Itong property of combinations tell us that if we select one element from n number of elements, the answer is always n. For example, 25 select 1. The answer is 25. Okay, let us proceed to example number 6. Evaluate 9 select 8. So using the formula, we have 9 factorial over the quantity of 9 minus 8 factorial times 8 factorial, which is also equal to 9 factorial over 1 factorial times 8 factorial. To simplify, we have 9 times 8 factorial all over 1 times 8 factorial. And then, let us cancel out 8 factorial. Ang natira is 9 divided by 1, which is equal to 9. This is another property of combination. Sinasabi dito, kapag nag-select tayo ng n-1 number of element sa n number of elements, ang sagot ay yung value pa rin ng n. So for example, if we select 20 from 21 elements, the answer is 21 pa rin. This time, let us now apply the concept of combination sa mga real-world problems. Let us have the first problem. How many ways can you fill up the positions President, Vice President, Secretary, Auditor, and Treasurer, knowing that there are 9 eligible candidates in your class? So, anong gagawin natin? Pipili tayo ng 5 officer mula sa 9 na eligible candidates. Sa problem na ito, hindi mahalaga yung pagkakasunod-sunod ng mga officers. Ang mahalaga, yung mapunan yung 5 posisyon. Dahil meron tayong 9 eligible candidates, ang N natin is equal to 9. At dahil may 5 positions tayong pupunan, ang R natin is equal to 5. Lagi niyong tandaan na ang value ng N ay laging mas malaki sa value ng R. So we have 9 select 5. And this is equal to 9 factorial over the quantity of 9 minus 5 factorial times 5 factorial, which is also equal to 9 factorial over 4 factorial times 5 factorial. Then simplify natin. So we have 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 factorial all over 4 factorial times 5 factorial. Now let us now cancel out 5 factorial. And then, evaluate natin si 4 factorial. So we have 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 all over 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. In this case, 6 is equal to 3 times 2, so we can now cancel this. And then also, we can divide 8 by 4. So 8 divided by 4 is equal to 2. So ano ang natira? So we have 9 times 2 times 7, which is equal to 126. Therefore, meron tayong 126 ways to choose a class officers. Let us have the next problem. The government has to choose 3 vaccines from the 7 available vaccines in the country and to be given for free for frontliners. In how many ways can the government do it? Anong meron sa problem? Meron tayong 7 available vaccines kung saan pipili lang ng 3 ang gobyerno para maibigay ng libre sa mga frontliners. Since we have 7 available vaccines, ang N natin is equal to 7 at ang R natin is equal to 3 dahil 3 lang ang pipiliin ng gobyerno. Therefore, we have 7 select 3 and that is equal to 7 factorial over the quantity of 7 minus 3 factorial times 3 factorial, which is also equal to 7 factorial over 4 factorial times 3 factorial. To simplify, we have 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 factorial over 4 factorial times 3 times 2 times 1. And then, cancelan natin si 4 factorial. And since 3 times 2 is equal to 6, cancelan natin sila. So, ang naiwan ay 7 times 5, which is equal to 35. Therefore, mayroong 35 ways ang gobyerno para makapamili ng 3 vaccines mula sa 7 available vaccines. The next problem. Because of the effect of the community quarantine, you already made 8 TikTok videos and 12 YouTube videos. In how many ways can you post 5 of your videos online provided that you can post any of your videos made? Napapanahon, di ba? Alam ko, isa sa inyo, may mga TikTok and YouTube videos na rin na nagawa during pandemic time. Sa problem na ito, mayroon tayong condition. Pwede mong i-post ang 5 sa kahit anong video sa nagawa mo. Pwedeng TikTok o YouTube videos. Dahil kahit anong videos ang pwede nating i-post, ang total number of videos natin is equal to 20. 8 TikTok videos and 12 YouTube videos. At mula sa 20 videos na meron tayo, pipili lang tayo ng 5. Kaya, ang R natin is equal to 5. So, we have 20 select 5. And that is equal to 20 factorial over the quantity of 20 minus 5 factorial times 5 factorial, which is also equal to 20 factorial over 15 factorial times 5 factorial. To simplify, we have 20 times 19 times 18 times 17 times 16 times 15 factorial, all over 15 factorial times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And then, cancel out 15 factorial. Since 5 times 4 is equal to 20, i-cancel na rin natin sila. Also, 18 can be divided by 3, which is equal to 6. And 16 can be divided by 2, which is equal to 8. So, ang naiwan sa itaas ay 19 times 6 times 17 times 8, which is equal to 15,504. Kaya, meron tayong 15,504 ways para mag-post ng 5 videos na nagawa natin. Okay, next condition, there are 3 TikTok videos in the selection. So, from 8 TikTok videos, kukuha lang tayo ng 3. Therefore, we have 8, select 3. Ilang videos naman ang pipiliin natin sa YouTube? Tama, 2 na lang. Dahil 5 videos ang ipopost natin online. So, mula sa 12 YouTube videos, kukuha lang tayo ng 2. Therefore, we have 12, select 2. So, using the fundamental principle of countings, i-multiply natin yung number of selections from TikTok and YouTube. So, we have 8 factorial over the quantity of 8 minus 3 factorial times 3 factorial times 12 factorial over the quantity of 12 minus 2 factorial times 2 factorial. To simplify, we have 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 factorial all over 5 factorial times 3 times 2 times 1. So in this case, we can now cancel 5 factorial times 12 times 11 times 10 factorial all over 10 factorial times 2 times 1. So dito, cancel na rin natin sa 10 factorial. From the remaining, now since 3 times 2 is equal to 6, so ika-cancel na rin natin sila. And since 12 can be divided by 2, the answer is 6. So therefore, ang mga naiwan ay 8 times 7 times 6 times 11, or 56 times 66. And that is equal to 3,696. Kaya, meron tayong 3,696 ways to post 3 TikTok videos online. Paano naman kung ito ang ating condition? There are at least 4 TikTok videos in the selection. Dahil at least 4 TikTok videos ang ipopost natin online, maaaring 4 o higit pang TikTok videos ang may ipopost natin. Sa case ng ating problem, it's either 4 TikTok videos or 5 TikTok videos. So, meron tayong 2 cases. Case 1, 4 TikTok and 1 YouTube videos ang ipopost natin. Or case 2, 5 TikTok videos. Okay, case 1 muna tayo. 4 TikTok and 1 YouTube videos. Ibig sabihin, mula sa 8 TikTok videos, pipili lang tayo ng 4 at mula sa 12 YouTube videos, pipili tayo ng 1. So we have 8 select 4 para sa TikTok and 12 select 1 para sa YouTube. To simplify, we have 8 factorial over the quantity of 8 minus 4 factorial times 4 factorial. Looking at this 12 select 1, meron tayong property ng combination na sinasabi pag magse-select tayo ng isa sa n numbers of elements, ang sagot ay yung value ng n pa rin. Kaya, 12 select 1 is equal to 12. To continue, we have 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 factorial all over 4 factorial times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Now let us cancel 4 factorial. Since 6 is equal to 3 times 2, i-cancel na rin natin sila. And also, 8 can be divided by 4, which is equal to 2. Ang natira sa itaas ay 2 times 7 times 5. And that is equal to 70. Then times 12. So we have 840. So therefore, meron tayong 840 ways para mag-post ng 4 TikTok and 1 YouTube videos. Now, punta tayo sa case number 2, 5 TikTok videos selected. Ibig sabihin, mula sa 8 TikTok videos, pipili tayo ng 5 at mula sa 12 YouTube videos, wala tayong pipiliin. Therefore, meron tayong 8, select 5 para sa TikTok videos times 12, select 0 para sa YouTube videos. To simplify, we have 8 factorial over 8 minus 5 factorial times 5 factorial. Look at this 12 select 0. According sa property of combination, if we select 0 element from n numbers of elements, then it is always equal to 1. Kaya, 12 select 0 is equal to 1. To continue, so we have 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 factorial all over 3 times 2 times 1 times 5 factorial. So, cancelin natin si 5 factorial. Also, 6 is equal to 3 times 2. So, cancel na rin natin sila. Ang naiwan sa itaas ay 8 times 7. And that is equal to 56 times 1 equals 56. So, therefore, meron tayong 56 ways para mag-post ng 5 TikTok videos online. Dahil may dalawa tayong cases sa problem na ito, i-add natin yung number of ways ng dalawang cases. Therefore, we have 840 plus 56 equals 896 ways to post at least 4 TikTok videos online. Okay, balikan lang natin yung concept ng combination. Again, combination is a mathematical technique that determines the number of possible arrangements in a collection of items where the order of selection does not matter. The number of combination of n objects taken R at a time is given by n select R equals n factorial over the quantity of n minus R factorial times R factorial. So these are the different properties of combination. Number 1, n select n is equal to 1. Number 2, n select 0 is also equal to 1. Number 3, n select 1 equals n. And number 4, n select n minus 1 equals n. Dito po nagtatapos ang ating video lesson sa araw na ito. Thank you po sa inyong panonood at sana po ay may mga natutunan kayo sa akin. Kung sakaling nagustuhan ninyo ang video na ito, huwag pong kalimutang pindutin ang like and share button and please subscribe na rin sa aking channel para masubaybayan pa ninyo ang mga susunod ko pang mga math video lesson. Muli, Ito po si Sir Mandy, ang inyong math teacher. Paalam!